It was a 4-step inside out process, really a journey with God. Hello, I'm Althea McIntyre. Welcome to Althea TV, where we help established Christ-centered female entrepreneurs just like you grow profitable spirit-led businesses. So every Tuesday we release a new episode. So if you love this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode. So I'm often asked, Althea, how did you gain the confidence to sell high ticket offers? What was your journey to becoming confident and comfortable and authentic selling at the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and above level? And it was a journey with God. Really, I can summarize it in saying it was a 4-step inside out process that began in 2017. So in 2017, I told God, I'm going to do it your way. I'm going to trust you in my business. And so he began to develop my trusting in God and being spirit-led in my business muscles. And I remember telling God, I'm going to hire the coaches, consultants, and experts that you tell me to hire. I'm going to serve and market to the clients you called and created me to serve and market to. I'm going to create offers that you tell me to offer. I'm going to price them the way that you tell me to offer. Basically, I said, God, everything that I'm doing in my business, I'm going to do it your way, which I hadn't done in previous years. And so this was really the beginning process of me surrendering and letting go and slowing down and being uncomfortable, not controlling and running stuff, but letting God control and run things. And as my muscles began to develop, instead of just saying it, quoting it, and saying it like I trust God, no, my actions and my mindset reflected that. And so this was the beginning of the love relationship and me growing in intimacy with Christ. And the first thing, that was the backstory, but I made a decision that I was going to believe who God says I was, even when I didn't believe it. So when he said, Althea, I want you to, teach sales. You know a lot about sales, help people with sales. And I was like, okay, I didn't even realize how much I knew at that time, but I said, okay, God, that's what you said. I'm going to talk about sales. You want me to work with these individuals, these visionaries, these Christ-centered leaders, these trailblazers. That's who I'm going to talk to. And so that was the first process. And I remember realizing that belief is the biggest transformation, because once I aligned my actions with who God said I was and started to believe who God said I was, things began to change and really transform, not only in me, but in my business. And then I knew at that point, okay, well, I'm serving a new audience. Well, I want to do it with excellence and expertise, so I need to know who these individuals are. And that's when I started applying my 7-step market research roadmap, where systematically I began to do market research and identify who was my ideal client and who wasn't. How do they like to learn? How to price, where to reach them, what copy would connect and convert. What was their history with working with other coaches? What were they looking for in a coach? This is the 7-step roadmap that my clients go to when they come to me and they're like, okay, Althea, I'm pivoting my business. Okay, Althea, I'm ready to double or even triple my fees. Systematic market research. And so with that information, I then marketed differently. I showed up differently online. In fact, I remember at the time making the decision to focus on online marketing only. And so I made the decision and had to, to align with who God says I was and his will, remove myself from certain communities and started interacting in other communities. And so as my marketing changed, I started to interact and to attract more of those ideal clients. And still at this time, I was believing who God said I was, and my confidence was growing in God. It wasn't growing in me. My confidence was growing in that God always and only wants the best for me. My confidence was growing in that I can trust God, and when he tells me to do something that makes no sense and I feel uncomfortable, that he knows the end from the beginning. And so the confidence was growing in him, and my identity was growing in him, and my belief was growing in him, and I was beginning to adopt the mind of God in my business. And I remember attending an event in 2019 that confirmed, and God telling me, now, not only sales, I want you to serve, the marketplace by teaching high ticket sales. And Althea, you're not doing enough. And I remember getting that and feeling a little doubtful, right? Because there was some doubt in there. And then God started to woo me. God started to do certain things and remind me how much he loves me. In fact, I remember talking to my colleagues and being like, oh my gosh, I just had this sweet everything conversation with God. Why didn't you guys tell me about this? I didn't know that this was possible. And so this love relationship, and I began to just get a taste, a real taste of how much God loves me. And back to the marketing, it was at the end of 2018 that God said specifically, I want you to do videos. I want you to build your YouTube channel. I want you to focus on LinkedIn. And I had such a long history of starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping doing videos on YouTube. And I was serious about being a finisher. I was serious about doing God's way, and I knew I needed help. And so in 2019 is when I hired Pete, my YouTube mentor, and so that I had the support and the strategy and the know-how to be consistent to the Althea TV channel that we all love. And so, my belief had shifted, my marketing had shifted, and then naturally the next thing to shift were my offers. And so I repositioned and repackaged them and priced them to align with who God says I was in the marketplace and who I was called to serve. And I remember having to be committed to that. There was some times when I drew back and I wavered and I didn't apply Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. I was looking at the storm and not focusing on the author and finisher of my faith. And no surprise, those offers were a flop. But God continued to be patient with me. God continued to woo me, and God continued to develop confidence in him. And so my offers now reflected who I was called to serve, and the information from my market research. So I knew exactly what needed to be in there. And as I started attracting, this is the last step, as I started attracting and working with my clients, the shift happened. I began to realize how much I knew in the area of sales and spirit-led sales, and that my clients didn't know what they didn't know, even though when they thought that they did. And so naturally, as I'm working with them, they're coming to me in sales, and then we got to work on mindset. And then, we got to work on leadership. And my confidence in my experience, in God equipping me, my expertise, that was, really, and my value that I brought into the marketplace, that is when, mind you, that's the fourth step. That's when I became confident in selling at this level. God had, knew the end from the beginning. So this process wasn't necessarily linear, but these were like the stages that we went through. And I remember in January of 2020, before any of us knew what was to happen in March, and God said, March 1, you're going to double your fees. And we doubled the fees in March 1. So I want to know Are you tracking with me? Remember, first it was I believed who God said I was even when I didn't believe it. Second, I changed my marketing, how, with whom, and where I showed up. And I did that by applying systematic, comprehensive market research. Let me know if you're tracking with me. And number three, I repositioned, repackaged, and value-based priced my offers. And then four, as I was working with my clients and realizing more and more that they didn't know what they didn't know, even when they thought that they did, and that I was a solution for the problems that were keeping them up at night around sales and, and then in that process of them not knowing how to lead a sales conversation, not knowing how to address ideal prospects' concerns, not knowing what questions to ask when to lead an ideal prospect through a decision making, not know what to do when the sales conversation is going off into a different direction and how to bring the conversation back in. And so this is when my signature one call close roadmap was developing as I was doing it and teaching my clients. In fact, if you are saying, Althea, I would love to know how to handle an ideal prospect's concern, then I want you to grab my free one call close training. You can do that at bit.ly one call close. That's bit.ly one call close. And you can have the same roadmap that helps me and my clients lead ideal clients to yes, where most of them pay in full in one sales conversation. So I would love to hear from you now. Where are you? Which of the 4 stages, which are you in your journey with God and your journey in becoming confident selling high ticket offers? Will you let me know below? And if you're saying to yourself, Althea, I have been feeling a nudging to double my fees or maybe even triple my fees, but I don't know how to do that. Well, at the end of this video, you'll be able to watch how to increase your fees the Spirit-led way. And we talk all about that. Okay. Until next Tuesday, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Don't forget to visit my website at altheamcintyre.com to download your free one call close roadmap. Until next time, take care. God bless you.